articles about his wife being
terrible, absolutely
locked
terrible.
up.
Terrible. It's not good, is it?
So what can you tease us about the future? Like, you know, Jonathan, what kind of, how has your character taken to the power that you're now wielding? Was this expected at all?
Did I expect it?
Yeah.
Or did the character expect it? The character, I think, it's interesting because he explains a lot about himself in season 6. You find out more about High Sparrow and what motivates him.
Mm-hmm.
And where he was coming from was a place that he saw himself doing good. And it's a coincidence, but Pope Francis was elected around about the same time as High Sparrow appeared. And the Pope, you know, his first deeds that you saw on television were he was administering to the poor and the sick. And he presents himself as a man of the people and in a very sincere way. And it's exactly what High Sparrow does. High Sparrow, unfortunately, for many people, then goes on to, in order to get his way and to create the world that he wants to live in, has to administer these punishments to various queens that get in the way. And, yeah, so it's season 6 sees him more and more of what you saw in 5.
That's weird intrepidation.
Mm-hmm.
So Tormund is the last man standing.
Yes.
So, how will his relationship with Cersei, you know, look like moving forward? You know, do we see him standing up a bit more for himself this season?
Can't tell you much,
Yeah.
but I'd say that is his objective, his new objective, to change, face his fears, and to grow up and actually do something about it instead of crying about it.
Okay. So we're going to be seeing the both of you in many more scenes together next season.
We've got a couple of scenes together. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jonathan, given your history, your character's history with both families, would you say for Jonathan as an actor, would you be rooting for either the Tyrells or the Lannisters?
I'm not rooting for it. No,
Given a choice.
I'm trying to educate them.
Is Jonathan as an actor?
No, I can't be objective like that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, do you think your character is driven by good or religiosity?
I think driven, in his eyes, in High Sparrow's eyes, he's driven by good, yeah. And for him, he wants to instigate a revolution where the many will defeat the few.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit, maybe the both of you, what is it like working with so many extras at the same time? You know, anything funny, or is there a different energy on location?
The crowd scenes.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised, really, how there are a number of large...
Who are you?
No one.
A girl has been given a second chance. There will not be a third.
It's all I think about. What was taken from me.
I know what happens. There's no hiding from this. We have to fight.
Stand at the head of our army where you belong. Show them what Lannisters are. What we do to our enemies.
The real war is between the living and the dead. And make no mistake, the dead are coming.
Dragons do not do well in captivity.
How do you know this?
That's what I do.
And Hannah in rags, and we both don't look our best. It must be disconcerting for the poor thing, but
yeah.
Just got to be patient.
But I think it's the very reason why they're difficult is also the reason why they're wonderful, is that you don't know what they're going to do and how they're going to respond, and they're completely in the moment and completely alive. And I felt like this year
it's best to keep them completely alive if you possibly can. A couple of slip ups.
But no, yeah, I think this year there was some really wonderful stuff where I felt like we were really kind of acting off them, and they give you so much, but they also, if they're in a bad mood, they will tell you about it. Whereas a tennis ball on a stick kind of
it's
consistent.
It's a consistent performance from a tennis ball on a stick, but it lacks nuance.
All right, guys, tell me, things are looking a little warmer for you this season. So you're working in a different location. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, we were really, really lucky, and we got to go to Spain this year, which was amazing. It was an incredible experience, and especially, John had been to Iceland before. I'd never been out of Belfast, so it was just really exciting to have a change. And I think it's also exciting for the characters to have a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
So John, how will the Talley family reunion look like? With Gilly and the baby in the picture.
It's a huge moment for Sam. It really is, because the last time he was in that environment was when he was getting unceremoniously booted out of it. So it's almost come full circle. The thing that I found interesting about that when I found out that those characters were being cast was because they've been referred to so much, especially Randall's been referred to so much. He's been a character in the show before he's appeared on screen. And then you find out he's been cast, you see the actor playing him, you see his performance, and you think, oh, all the time I was talking about Randall before, I was talking about that guy. You know what I mean? He wasn't what I had in my head, but you cast him in retrospect. So when I was talking to Gilly about Randall in season 3, that was the guy I was talking about. So it's interesting that these characters who've been such a part of my imagination and such a part of Sam's psyche are now made real. That was very exciting for me.
Great. So I guess let's talk about you, John.
Yeah, let's do that.
Where we last left off, you were totally unaware.
The first time we saw Dubrovnik, it was a shock because the whole city really looked the way we pictured King's Landing looking.
Dubrovnik is extraordinary because it has some very open streets and it also has some very narrow streets, and so the personality of the space changes very quickly.
These locations that we've used in Croatia have this amazing character to them, and the streets are made of big chunks of marble.
There's a series of steps in the old town that we'd walked up 1,000 times. This year we actually ended up using them leading up to the Sept Valor.
In Croatia we shot in Klis and in Split. Klis is the ruins of a medieval castle, the same place that we were filming last season, which is just always beautiful and amazing.
It looks very, very different from the other architecture in Dubrovnik, and was a great skeleton on which to build the city of Marine.
Shot some other stuff in Split in Diocletian's palace.
The place where Dani keeps her dragons, that's shot in the catacombs of the old Diocletian palace. They look amazing.
Rolling! Nice and quiet. Тишина за снимание.
There were very big scenes this year, and they're in very public spaces, so you have to be able to work very quickly, and you've always got a lot of tourists that come to watch what you're doing.
Croatia's that walled city, so everybody can walk around the outside of it and look right in.
We can tell how many boats are in Dubrovnik every day because they actually have a whole schedule. So we picked, I think we only had 700, we call them boat people.
Croatia's a lovely holiday destination. Unlike a lot of the cruise